Hi, this is Cliff Curtis. I'm with Coin-O-Matic out of Alsip, Illinois, and we are a full-service distributor of Speed Queen commercial coin-operated laundry equipment. Today, we're broadcasting live on Facebook in Mokena, Illinois, and we are at the Busy Bee Laundromat, which is owned by Mr. Bernard Sheppard. Morning, Bernard.
Good morning.
Good to be here with you today.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us. We'll just wait a minute here for other people to join us. So just a reminder, if you have any questions during the next 30 minutes, feel free to type those into the comment section. If you do have any questions after the session ends, you can message our Facebook post and we'll reply to those questions. Bernard's going to talk today about his recent laundry makeover. What's interesting at this location is the success that he's had in a very short period of time. So this is credited really to a lot of improvements that he made to the aesthetics of the laundry, but it's also credited to improvements that we helped him with using new laundry equipment. So we're going to discuss all of these in more detail during the next 30 minutes and learn more about how Bernard achieved his success here at the Busy Bee Laundry in Mokena. So we're going to start. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing us to be with you this morning.
Thank you.
So Bernard, when exactly did you purchase the laundry here?
Purchase of laundry was August 15th of 16,
Okay, so we're about 8 months out now.
somewhere around there.
Yeah. Can you tell everybody just what type of condition was the store in when you bought the store?
Wasn't very good. It was extremely dirty. The machines were, some of them worked, some of them didn't. Just a very bad reputation. It's really run down, really drab and bleak in here.
So the owner prior, do you know how many years that person owned it?
I'm not sure. I think about 5 or 6 years, but
So that owner had not a good reputation in this community.
no, it had kind of gone downhill
Okay.
the last couple of years.
So what did you do initially to let your customers know that you were the new owner and you were going to make things better here?
Well, the biggest thing, as I was buying it, before I actually purchased it, I would come in here and I would talk to the customers and I would ask them questions like what they would like to see differently in this place. And the biggest thing is cleanliness. They wanted a place that was clean, washers that were dependable and that worked. People lost a lot of money, and they were just very frustrated and let down. So that was my biggest thing.
I think I also recall you might have even had a sign towards the entrance communicating that there was a new owner here.
Exactly.
I think you put signs in the window, new ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way to advertise when you're not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So prior to purchasing this laundromat, have you ever been a small business operator, or were you in the laundromat business prior to this location?
No. Very first laundromat. I had some experience years ago in repairing washers and dryers, but I'd never owned a business before, so this is my first run at it.
Oh, interesting. So just out of curiosity, how did you decide to get into the laundromat business? What piqued your interest?
Just being able to kind of be free, have some freedom, and still be able to run and maintain a business. That was one of the biggest things, and the biggest things that I enjoy now is the people, my customers.
I see that here
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
So I understand you found this laundromat. It was for sale on the internet. Were there anything, once you decided to get into the business, was there anything about this location that attracted you to this, as far, besides whatever the pricing was, the neighborhood, the distance to where you live, things like that?
Yeah, it was. It's a very comfortable community. That was one of the biggest things. The location right here is a busy location. Just had a lot of potential, and that was really one of the main things, was the potential to be able to increase it from the beginning.
What were your priorities then once you took over the laundromat? You mentioned that you had to start fixing washers and dryers, general cleaning. What were some of the things that you initially had to do besides that? I think maybe you did some lighting changes. I think you had mentioned you replaced the toilet.
Yeah, I painted the entire place. Replaced the toilet, replaced the lights in the bathroom, added a sink for people to be able to spot rinse and wash out their containers of detergent, things like that. Added a security system, new signage, new desk here for the drop-off service that was added.
So I believe, well, you had mentioned that you purchased the store in August, and then I believe you contacted our company maybe about a month later. Tell us a little bit about that. When you first called our company and I had responded, I think we just started out looking at maybe one or two replacement machines.
Yeah, I had a need for some a couple new or used top load washers that had just been giving me fits, even in that short period of time, and reached out to you, and that's kind of where things took off from there.
Okay. So yeah, I do recall that when I met with you, we basically listened to, what was going on here, and you had made an indication that the majority of the revenue was coming from a minority of the machines, particularly the larger washers and dryers that were located at the rear of the store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had four big washers back there that people just used constantly, along with the dryers that were there.
Well, I think we'll take a look around and show some of the changes that we did to the laundry. After I had met with Bernard, we had provided some drawing work with a proposal. So let's just take a couple minutes and I'll give you a little tour of the laundry itself and show you some of those changes. So now we're at the front of the store, and when I initially met with Bernard, this front row, which is very important in the laundromat business, it's the first thing people see when they come in. We had 4 small front load washers, 18-pound capacity, and at the very end, we had 2 stackable dryers, but they are older version, small residential size. So what we basically did is we took out all those washers and dryers and we installed larger capacity machines, starting with a 50-pounder at the end, 2 35s in the middle, and a 30-pound washer at this end. So that was a big improvement. People could see it through the glass from the parking lot area. And then moving to the back side of the front bulkhead, Bernard had 16 total top load washers. And what we did is we made improvements, taking out half of the top loaders. He had 8 left over, so we took the best from that and recycled them on the back of this particular bulkhead. But here's where things really made a difference in the store. What you're seeing here in front of me are the Speed Queen soft mount front load washer. And this is a very important part of the transition that we made at this store. We did take, again, some smaller stackable dryers. We put 2 large 30-pound stack dryers to replace the smaller dryers. We had to bump the wall out, obviously, to accommodate that. But then, when you look at these machines, they present themselves as a standard stainless steel front load washer. However, these are soft mount machines. So they're not bolted to the floor on a steel base. There's a lot of advantages with these machines. They have a very high extract. They're much easier to install where we take top load washers out. And it just makes an entirely different impression for the customer. It gives them what they want, which is a large front load capacity. And besides the fact that it takes almost a pound more water out of the fabric in the final spin, we're using half of the water. So there's a tremendous savings on the utility. There's also a savings in the gas, not only to heat a portion of that water savings, but because the clothes have so much more moisture taken out of them, the customer's happy because it dries faster. The owner is happy because it requires less gas to remove the moisture from the clothes. So overall, it's just a win-win. So the next bulkhead, we basically did the same thing. And then the machines that were at the back of the store that prompted us to have this idea to increase capacity, we left those in place for this time. So that's a little tour and an explanation of, what we did here at the Busy Bee Laundry. And we help Bernard not only with the equipment, but to provide the people to do the proper installation. So I guess, Bernard, at the end of the day, when you first called us for 1 or 2 top load washers, we ended up doing a little bit beyond that.
Yes, we did.
So in order to do this, as I mentioned earlier, we did some work. I'm not sure if the camera will see this, but I'll hold it up. We had provided a scale drawing. This is a before, and then we did a drawing of what it would look after the improvements. Then, of course, we priced the equipment out, and we put that into return on investment analysis. So we looked very specifically at the cycles that were here with the existing equipment and what those vend prices were at. And then we took a look at it with the cost of the new equipment and what we would consider the income stream to be with the revised vend prices. Of course, we were confident that the people would receive the new equipment, again, being something that most people using laundromats are looking for, larger capacity, front load. Would you agree with that?
Definitely.
Yeah. I've been in the store several times, and I've had people actually come up and say how much they like the new machines. So that's been a good thing for us to see. Now, when we made the sale with Mr. Sheppard here, we did offer Speed Queen financial services, and we were able to do a lot of creative things with the financing. Speed Queen will actually finance the equipment at list price plus the sales tax. So obviously we don't sell the equipment at full list price, so this gap in the cost allows us to do a lot of the things we just showed you. That's all included in the financing. And that being said, Bernard, obviously we added to your bottom line a monthly figure on the lease payment, the finance payment. Would you say that at this point that's been satisfied by the changes in revenue?
Yes, sure is.
That's good to hear. So all of this was helpful, made a decision. How about once you did a lot of these improvements? I know that you had mentioned, all the things you did initially, and I know after we put the equipment in, you repainted the store. I mean, the store looks beautiful. I can see a huge difference from the time I first visited it. I believe you also did some things with the vend prices. I know the top loaders that we took out were originally, how much?
They were $2.
$2. And when you took a top loader out that used, again, twice the utilities of these machines we put in, what are these machines priced at? The new ones?
The new ones are $375.
And that's for all 3 cycles?
That's for the small and medium cycle. The larger cycle is $475. The difference in that would be the pre-wash, the extra wash and rinse, as compared to the other 2 cycles.
Okay. So basically what we've done is we've more than doubled the vend price at the same time putting in a machine that is well received and uses half the utilities. Mm-hmm. And I believe you also, because of the improvements, took some of the existing machines and did some increases as well.
I did. The larger machines that were in the back initially raised the price of those to match the ones that speak to the
Okay. And doing all that with an existing customer base, no problem with the price?
No worries. I've had people actually even tell me that it could go a little higher.
Really?
Yeah, that's not what I want to do. It's just I want to be fair, provide a clean, comfortable place, that people can do laundry.
Yeah. So you would say that you've got a lot of good word of mouth advertising from the local customers that you had.
Yes.
And that's allowed you to grow the business.
Yes, it has.
And you had mentioned too that you this laundry from the previous owner did have some ratings online. What was like Google?
Yeah, the Google ratings and reviews weren't very favorable.
Okay.
So
did you cancel that out to make sure?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I did initially was worked hard to rebrand myself, change the name, get new reviews, and just try to get that off, the old reviews off of Google.
And how are the reviews now?
Oh, they've been fantastic. It really is.
I think you told me earlier you have 5-star reviews.
Yeah, they are.
A person in our office did print out for me some of the Google reviews, and I brought them just to share some of them.
Okay.
And actually, I'm not going to share all of them in the interest of time because there's like 10 pages here. 5-star Google reviews. This is free advertising. And he earned this advertising with these reviews just by doing everything that we talked about. But I will read a few of them, and I'm not picking any of these out selectively. I'm just going to go from the top and read a couple of them. Incredible improvements over the old laundry days. Newer working machines, clean inside and out. Drop-off service very reasonable. Owner manager on site, at least most of the time. Welcome to the neighborhood, Bernard. Whoever this person is knows you by name. Keep up the good work. It's just amazing here. Wow, what a different laundromat. It's been clean every time. So this is great stuff here. And I think you had indicated that you're starting to see people because of this internet exposure, how many towns away? You said something like
Yeah, I heard people coming like 3 towns away.
3 towns.
Yeah.
Just to find a clean, nice place.
Yeah, and I'd ask them, because I pretty much know who comes in and who doesn't, who's new, and things like that. And I would ask them, and they said, "Well, I'm from such and such town. The reason I come is because you got 5-star reviews."
Okay, that's great.
So,
And I noticed too that I know you did put in. I haven't seen it at night, but you were telling me you got the new exterior sign.
yes,
Because I believe you did not. There was not a sign here.
there was no sign when I took over. I had a banner sign up there for a period of time until business was able to grow to allow me to put the new one up, and that's made a huge difference. I got customers coming in now saying that they live in the town and didn't know that there was a laundromat here, and that's just because of the sign. So.
Now, some other things that caught my attention before we broadcast here. I noticed that this was on the counter. Just talk about this a little bit. What is this?
That is it's called the Coffee News. Local businesses, you can put an ad in there, and I've been advertising in there for about the last 3 to 4 weeks, and that's so far made a difference as well.
So, okay, I see it. What Bernard has here is a local free advertising publication, and he's got about a business card size ad for it. It looks to be just an informational ad. Did you have any thoughts later? Were you going to try anything? I noticed you had, coupons. Maybe even try a coupon or something like that.
Yep.
And then when we decided to present this on Facebook Live, you had indicated that you also created a Facebook page for
Yes.
the Busy Bee Laundry.
Yep. Do have a Facebook page, and I've got a few friends on there and a few reviews as well. It's going good. It can go better. Got a little work to do on that, but that's been effective as well.
Again, I want to reiterate, you've been here for 8 months.
Right.
And I just noticed too, you got the Busy Bee Laundromat logo on your shirt.
Yes,
Nice job.
yes. Trying to brand it.
Yeah. Now, I know that you had also added a drop-off counter.
Yes.
So you're taking on drop-off laundry now. I saw that on the reviews.
Yep.
And how's that working out?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. It can definitely be better, but it's moving in the right direction. That's the best thing about it.
Well, you've gotten so much done in the 8 months that we've been talking about. I imagine now, and I've noticed some little touches. I know earlier I was standing in front of some artwork that you had indicated your wife actually made for the laundry, and I've seen some homey things, which makes it look even more pleasant.
It's trying to make it comfortable and inviting.
Yeah, that's great. So are there any things left here that you're planning to, carry forward? Is the exterior signage all done now, or?
I've got another sign to put out on the street, on the marquee sign.
Okay.
A couple more signs to replace out there. Big projects in here, probably new floor, new ceiling. That'll come in time.
Okay.
But biggest thing is just to continue to maintain and continue to keep it clean and get the drop off going.
And also on equipment, I know for right now you're in good shape, but you actually indicated to me, even though you have only 8 top loaders left, you were actually contemplating taking out 4 more top loaders to put 4 more of our new seats.
Yes. People, the response on those units has just been really fantastic, and they're really loving them. I had a guy yesterday. He raved about he'd been here like twice, and he raved about how clean his socks were. His socks had never been that clean before.
It's interesting because as an equipment person, we talk a lot about the Speed Queen dependability, the long life, the financing, how we can support you with the product. But that's a great point. at the end of the day, it's giving the customers what they want for your success.
Yeah.
You had also indicated to me recently that because we have the quantum gold control on these machines, we have all types of flexibility to program. You had said that you might want to do a promotion on Wednesday, maybe a special price.
Yeah.
Tell us what your thoughts were with that and why.
Just kind of thinking of doing some specials, advertising. Wednesday's one of my slower days, and I believe it brings some new people in. Maybe drop the price down some for a certain period of the day, just to kind of continue to create a buzz on that.
That's great. Okay, well, we're going to help you out with that.
Excellent.
And we can do whatever you want because the machine can do so many things to promote. So now that you've been in business for these 8 months, it sounds like you're satisfied in general with the business.
Definitely.
So you're planning to stick with it?
Certainly am.
Okay. And in the long term, are you looking to possibly even expand beyond Mokena?
I think that is possible.
That's great, Bernard. Yeah, we really appreciate your continued business, and we just want to congratulate you on your hard work and your success.
Thanks.
It's a beautiful story. So at this point, we're winding our 30-minute live session down. I'm not sure if we have any questions at this time, so if we don't, you can message our Facebook page for Coin-O-Matic. You can also visit our website at www.coin-o-matic.com. And we're going to do another live broadcast at another location this Thursday at 10 a.m. So be sure to tune into that because it's going to be a different store, different owner, different story to tell that I think that you'll find very interesting. So again, thank you so much, Bernard. Today was a wonderful day visiting with you.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. You have a good day, and thanks for visiting us live on Facebook. Cliff Curtis with Coin-O-Matic.